The Norman conquest in 1066 was the last successful conquest of England, one of the most influential monarchies in the history of England. Began in 1066 Common Era with the Norman conquest led by William, Duke of Normandy. England would be forever changed, politically, economically, and socially as a result. To honor the Battle of Hastings, the Silly History Boy show has sent to Battle Abbey in East Sussex this guy. You may as well turn off now.
It's amazing to think that both the Anglo-Saxons and the Normans would have walked this very path from the visitor centre behind me to the field of battle. It's an ideal place to have a battle. Well, they called it battle after all. I mean, you don't want to go and have soft play. I mean, that would be the soft play of Hastings, which of course is nowhere near Hastings. We're about 17-minute drive away from Hastings. Now, if you walk that, it would take several hours to walk. So we're nowhere near Hastings, but I am on a ye olde medieval gravel path, walking from the visitor centre to perfectly signed places. And I'm going the accessible route because, well, I'm really accessible. Okay, well, here you go. This is a perfect place to have a battle. Just yonder is the field where the battle, nowhere near Hastings, could or may not have happened. Cast your eyes. Over here we have trees, we have sky much as it was in 1066. The sky is the same colour blue as it was in 1066. And beyond the trees there is a field, and from the field yonder there are more trees. These trees are very, very old as 200 years old. Which is almost as old as the Battle of Hastings itself. Now, if you're a mathematician, I'd probably disregard what I just said. Okay, in history, brilliant. And so, we're overlooking Hastings Field, nowhere near Hastings, called Senlac Hill, not massively hilly. And what we've got there is the place right there is where poor Harold Godwinson finally died. You can tell he's exactly there. He died just there because there's a massive arrow right there. And that massive arrow was put there probably by an American or some sort of creative director. And because that's there, it's definitely where Harold Godwinson got an arrow in the eye. You're welcome, history. You're welcome. We're now in the inside of Battle Abbey. You can tell we're in the inside of Battle Abbey. And what I like to call, and if you can tell by the architecture, the structure, you can tell this was obviously the common room. You can tell it was the common room because there's a useful sign telling you it's the common room. Now, what does the common room mean? Well, the actual words are lost in time. It probably says there, but there's too much writing. So a common room is for common people who need room. You're welcome, history. You're welcome. Blammo! That's a cool thing that I do to make history accessible for young people. You go through and there's an opening there that doesn't have doors on. That must have been very drafty. historically. If you don't like that door, there is another door with very useful handrails. They were very safety conscious in the 11th century. If you go through this room is an entirely different style of room. You can tell the different style because of the windows. This also has, I'm going to call it an aperture, an opening, because there's no door there. They should really have thought about doors. And down into this room. This room is very much in its own right another room. I can tell you what room it's called. It's called the novices' room. You can tell it's the novices' room because of the high ceilings. Novices don't like to hit their head on low ceilings. If they're not very good at crouching, you could even say they're a novice at crouching. This one does have a door, which means it is an important room. And also it says right there, novices, the novices' room. And so this room here that is entirely unfinished, they didn't finish this at all. I mean, they really should have thought about that, because this could have been a really nice room with a lovely aspect off to the distance to see the church. That obviously wouldn't have been built. That's brand new. That was built a couple of hundreds of years ago, brand new. But where we're standing now is the parlour. You can tell it's the parlour. This is one of the very first few rooms, if you like, where the monks were allowed conversation, parleur, to parlez-vous. The pirates call it a parley, to talk. It was rebuilt in the 13th century, obviously, and the door in the eastern wall led to the infirmary. You know I know all that, because I just know my history. I just know everything there is to know about it. Okay, history lesson. Sadly, not all is perfect here at Battle Abbey. This room here is largely unfinished. You see here, they forgot to put a roof on it. Idiots. This would have been very cold in the winter. Maybe they should have thought more, maybe about warmth, keeping the chill in. No, keeping the chill out, keeping the warmth in. This is probably a punishment room where people came out to freeze. Of course, it could be a party deck for those dang old monks that just like to shimmy on down and party in the sun at summertime. And therefore, my friends, what we've got here is the end of the tour of Battle Abbey. That building, that amazing building. Yeah, it's privately owned, we don't talk about that. And this is exactly the way that the Normans would have gone after victory in battle. They'd have come down these stairs, thus there, and off to the gift shop to get themselves a fridge magnet. I won! Hastings 1066, sort of shit.